The first story is called Drive My Car. And in general, it's about an actor that is hiring that needs to hire a driver for to take him to his work and then to his place and all that. And what happens is, as I think it's most, yes, with most of the stories in the book, it's like a dialogue or like conversations that happen between the characters, in this case the actor and the driver. And in those conversations is where you're gonna get glimpses of wisdom or or that emotion, or when you relate to the characters, to the situation, and whatnot. So the women, the Drive My Car, it's also, well, I find it funny how it starts, because it's basically saying that women suck at driving, and the reason is because either they are very careful at driving, which means that they are extremely slow and they don't know how to change lanes, or they press the brake very heavily, and also the majority don't know how to drive a manual car, and he has a manual car. And on the other side are the women that are extremely reckless, which by trying to look different from the rest of the women that are very cautious and trying to show that they can drive, then they drive endangering people because they just drive too fast. And I mean, you know how people that don't know how to drive. I mean, whatever, like they just cut into the lane and all those things. So when he is introduced to this driver, which is a woman, at the beginning he's a little nervous, because he's like, I know it's a prejudice of mine, but if you say she's good, then okay, I'll try it. And she's actually an excellent driver. And that's actually like not even that relevant. It's just like how it starts. But I find it funny because I do think it's quite accurate. Not that women cannot drive, women can, just that it happens. So anyway, she's there, and she starts taking him to the theater, because he's an actor for theater, and she's just doing her job. And she is not very talkative, but they do have some conversations. And it also occurs because he doesn't have many friends, so she's like, why you don't have friends? And then he's like, do you have friends? And she's like, no, not any. So anyway, and they just start talking. His wife died, and she cheated on him several times, because she was also an actress. Yes, I think he had his suspicions that she was cheating on him, but because they couldn't last that long, like most of the time they could, the affair could only last while they were working on the same movie, then he couldn't care. He never confronted her about this. And I don't think he necessarily regrets not confronting her. Now obviously she's dead, so it doesn't matter, but it's more as in he would like to understand why she felt the need to go to other men. And one weird case was that there was this one guy who of course she also cheated with him, with this other one, and he became close to him after she died, just to figure him out, to see what kind of person he is, and to see why she liked him. So then he becomes close to him. Well, not super close, but maybe hanging out like once per week or something like that. And he kind of likes the guy, but he can also tell that he fell in love with her, and he was also very sad, uh, knowing that she passed away. Um, but still, she never let him that close, because I believe she was kind of sick, and during those times, she never allowed the affair, to come close to to her, because she kind of respected to some extent the husband. And this is one of the conversations that he tells the driver. Uh, and and with this, it comes one quote, which he says that it's like, knowledge was better than ignorance. However agonizing, it was necessary to confront the facts. Only through knowing could a person become strong. I mean, there is wisdom in it, no? Knowledge, of course, it's always good. The truth is always what matters, even if it hurts. It's better than living in a lie, and which is pretty much what Murakami said in a much better context with much better words. Um, and then he also has this conversation with the driver, where he explains to her how much he likes to act and why he likes to act so much. And one of the reasons is because he likes to escape his person, not necessarily, I mean, maybe his reality as well, but his person, to put himself, or to fake that he is someone else, at least for some time, and then going back to who you are. And another quote here is like, whether you want to or not, but the place you return to is always slightly different from the place you left. I mean, I do think it's a little self-explanatory, but what I like is precisely that. Like, even for a small moments, and because also in these moments is where you can experience Murakami, because it's like, even to describe something simple as just describing why a person likes their job, but it's like, as an actor, um, after you portray someone completely different from you, or slightly different from you, it really doesn't matter. When you come back to yourself, even that just mindset, uh, you're coming back to someone different, or the place which is different, and it's just by the fact that, because you have experienced someone else's perspective or point of view. Or at least that's how I interpreted it, and that's why I very much like the quote. And then, because the conversation is kind of like about the acting and about the wife. So, relationships. One part, I mean, this is not a direct quote, but I kind of liked it, because he was saying that relationships between people in general, but more or particularly between men and women, on a general level, are quite pathetic. And I just thought it was funny. I mean, obviously, because of all the how you have to navigate the entire relationship, because you don't know exactly where it's going, and then you just end up wherever you are. The challenge is to look inside your own heart as perceptively and seriously as you can, and to make peace with what you find there. If we hope to truly see another person, we have to start by looking within ourselves. And this, of course, could go to all kinds of relationships, not only romantic ones. And it's also because in this moment, then the driver, she gives a little bit of her backstory, and it's basically that she had a pretty not so great upbringing, but she just continues living, like, I mean, what else? And then she says, like, so then we're all actors. And he replies, like, yes, I think that's true, to a point anyway. And I believe that was the end of the book. I just like how from something so simple, like Murakami can give a life lesson. What I like is that he leaves you kind of thinking about it. Um, Not because of its complexity necessarily, but it's just like in it's just how I don't know how something so simple can actually hit you. As in, not that you start crying or anything. It's just like I don't know, like a light bulb moment or like a it's true, you know.